How you doing? Thanks for downloading the show. It's Garden Fork Radio. It's me, Eric, your host. Have you ever watched The Craftsman on YouTube? I am your host, The Craftsman. So I am your host, the Eric, that guy, Eric. Anyway, I had a couple things I wanted to talk to you about today. If this is your first time here, it's stuff Eric does. It's eclectic DIY. I was thinking about, somebody made a comment on one of my YouTube videos that I should change the name of the channel to Eric Tries Stuff or Eric Does Stuff. And I think that's a much better name than Garden Fork, because when I tell people that, oh, what's the name of the channel? Garden Fork. And they're like, what? Eric Does Stuff. The thing with that is that people do searches for like Garden Fork pizza oven or Garden Fork maple syrup evaporator, Garden Fork plywood boat. So I'm wondering how that would work. Would there be baked in enough Google, YouTube juju that if they typed in Garden Fork, they would still point to the Eric Does Stuff videos? Does anyone know the answer to this? I would love that. It's gardenfork87 at Gmail. Gardenfork, all one word, 87 in that same word. Gardenfork87 at Gmail. I guess I should work on a podcast-only email address, but that would require me to follow through on things, and we know how good I am at that. I wanted to talk about my fig trees, drill bits, and clogged spray cans, which are all in the front of my frontal lobe right now. I just posted a video of me and my sister from this summer when I go to her house like every 6 weeks or so. In the springtime, I had noticed her fig tree was doing well, so we, like a month or two later, we wrapped some of the sandwich bags, rooting bags, around two of the stems that we were going to prune off anyway. If you're curious, I have a couple of videos about how to essentially clone your fig trees and other plants similarly, that if you take a stem of a plant and you stick it in the ground, if you lay it down so it's still on the mother plant but touching the soil, if it sprouts roots, you can use this sandwich bag method to make more plants. And the fig trees are one of those. So anyway, we put some soil bags around them. And then I came back and Tracy's like, what are we going to do about these bags around the tree? And I'm like, oh. And by then the root systems in the sandwich bag were really, really good. So we made a video about it. And I just have a video folder called To Edit. And there are probably 100 videos in there, at least 50. And I thought, well, we'll just do this one with me and my sister. And boom. So I set it out. I sometimes think, is it appropriate? Is it the wrong time of the year? And I'm like, it's Eric Does Stuff. And this is something I did. So there you go. But I don't know if I'd call it a fig tree obsession. The camera operator would. I put them all in I potted up the ones I had put in the ground. There's a video about that coming. And I put them all in the root cellar for the winter. And, even if you're putting stuff in your basement or a cool place, it's ideal not to let the soil dry out completely. You don't want it soaking wet. You just want a little bit of moisture in there. So with my dahlias, which I store in, they look like milk crates, but they're thinner. They're where fruit comes in for your grocery store. You can ask them for the plastic crates that they come in. They're great for storing bulbs and stuff. But anyway, there's wood shavings in there along with the tubers. And I just have a watering can, and probably 4 times during the winter, I just lightly water the top of all that. And then I now lightly water all the fig trees that are in storage now. And there is a fig tree on 2nd Street as I go to the hardware store, Tarzan Hardware, if you know that, in the slope. and it's a street tree. And I kept on thinking, wow, I could take some cuttings of that over the winter. You can take the hardwood, in other words, the more mature wood, you can cut pieces of that off, make sure it has one node and a clean bottom, put rooting compound on the bottom, stick it in some good soil, potting soil, keep it watered but not soaking wet. And it will, it has to be about 70 degrees, so you could put it in your furnace room. And it will, in the spring, it should sprout. So, but then I realized I already have enough fig trees, because any fig trees I bring up to the little house, my backyard here is too shady for fig trees. I have to put it in a pot, and that means I have to take care of it. And as we know, because I killed my other fig trees up there, I'm not great at taking care of things all the time. But I still want to share cool stuff. And Eric did do this potting up of the rooted bags at Tracy's house. And I don't know, I think you might like to hang out with my sister as well. She's not in the video, she's behind the camera, but plenty of comments. And yeah, there you go. Shameless plug for the newsletter. It's more of Eric, if you would like that. Go to gardenfork.tv/email. And there's a sign up there. Even if you go to gardenfork.tv, I think there's a subscribe button on every page. But yeah, I put out 1 or 2 emails a week. I'm trying to create the habit of 2 emails a week, because I just like to share cool stuff, and I can't do it all in one email. There you go. Do I put music in between this? An interlude? I could hum for you. Where do I get high quality drill bits for drilling into metal? Could you tell me? I don't get it. I buy the most expensive drill bits at the hardware store, and they maybe cut one piece of metal. I just don't understand it. Thin metal, yeah, you go right through it, but this is 1/8 inch recycled metal. It's a metal bed frame, and I cut it up, and I needed to make a angle bracket for my chin-up bar that I put in the apartment here, because the wall I tied it to is a drywall wall, and that's not the stud right there. Ha ha, funny. And so yeah, I'm trying to figure out, so I need to drill some holes in the angle iron. I welded the bracket together, and I put it in my drill press. And I pulled a drill bit I had. I have one of those magnetic strips, and you can put all your drill bits on there, or screws or whatever, screwdrivers. And I thought it was sharp, and it's like watching paint dry. I was oiling it, going slowly. Slow rotation is evidently good for drilling through metal. And it was like nothing. So I have a brand new box of drill bits. I got it from Harbor Freight. I'll be honest with you. It was like some super sale, and I was like, well, it's like 64 bits in there. And I'm like, there's times that you just need a sacrificial drill bit, and that's where I go to for that. And I pulled one of those out, and I'm like, surely a brand new virgin drill bit with the titanium sprayed on it or whatever will drill through essentially what I call pot metal. It's been recycled probably 16 times and then made into a bed frame. But it was a no-go. So what do I do? I see videos where, they've got like a Bridgeport mill or one of those magnetic drills that will clamp onto a metal beam, and then you can slowly put the drill bit in. What am I missing here? I called one of my best friends, Matt, who he creates metal art, for lack of a better word. And he worked at a bronze art forge, and he knows metal. And I'm like, why can't this drill? And he goes, because your drill bits are dull. And that's kind of an Eric answer to a lot of my friends. But I was like, they're not dull. I was like offended. If you know anything about that, I would love to hear it. It's gardenfork87@gmail.com. more questions. Another thing that's been driving me nuts, maybe you too, the new kind of spray can tops. They're usually white, and the diameter is larger. I mean, like on WD-40, well, they changed theirs, but it used to be like a little red plastic spray top, right? It was, I think almost every can of spray paint had that. You could turn it upside down and spray it out. And you could drain the tube in the spray can and clean out the spray tip. I can't seem to do that with these new tips. And it doesn't matter what brand of paint. It's Krylon and the other one, which I can't remember the name of now. So, of course, I went on the YouTube. And the first video I found, it said, use a thin wire to clean out the top, and you can soak the cap in acetone. And I did it with one, and I didn't seem to get anywhere with it. So I decided, I kind of backburnered that for a while. I have a little mason jar with that said plastic tip in it. I guess I should try it again. But I've got these like almost brand new spray paint cans. What's spray paint? $10 a can now or something? Anyway, a gentleman named 65 Ford is on YouTube. And he does all sorts of videos, kind of like 65 Ford does stuff, Eric does stuff, You take brake cleaner, which is acetone. Is it brake cleaner or carburetor cleaner? It's basically the same stuff. I would say it's brake cleaner. Anyway, it has a long red straw on it. And you shoot that into the bottom. You take the plastic spray cap off the spray can and shoot it through the bottom. And because it has some propulsive quality to it, it's got some pressure behind it, and it is essentially acetone, it will break down the paint and shoot out the front of it. I did watch another video. It's called Commando something. I watched it in incognito mode on YouTube because I didn't want I don't want YouTube to then start sending me all these spray paint videos. I want to watch narrowboat videos. Anyway, he said that if you put the cap in acetone, the acetone will eventually melt the plastic. And I did not witness that with the white spray cap that I used, because it was in there for days and I shook it around. I tried putting a wire through there. I am not sure what. I'm going to try the brake cleaner. I think it was brake cleaner. Here, let's do something here. I will talk mindlessly while we look this up, because you're going to want to know, right? Yeah, Eric, we want to know. Okay, so Here, let me pause the recording. I can do that on Audacity. Hey, we're back. I think I'm recording. Looks like it's recording. So the other gentleman I watched is called Commando Designs. You would be surprised how many videos there are about spray paint not spraying, spray paint nozzle clogged, spray paint won't spray, clogged spray can. Oh, no, stop. I didn't want to press that. Yeah, they're in the shorts or reels, whatever those things are called, and in regular videos. One of them I saw, the guy was using a heat gun when the tip that's the tip that's coming out of the can, if that's clogged, you can try. He tried a heat gun. I did not say to do that. Okay, don't do that and then say Eric said to do that. But anyway, I am going to work with the acetone some more. Acetone is not good, so you should wear gloves. Wear thick gloves too. But the question about brake cleaner and carb cleaner and acetone, the brake cleaner has a higher concentration of acetone in it. and carburetor cleaner has less. That being said, if you have some carb cleaner in your garage, you can try that. I mean, why go to the store to buy brake cleaner when you already have something that will probably work? I'm curious about this. I must have 3 or 4 cans that are clogged, and maybe there's part of me that wants to make a video about it. There's part of me that there's so many people out there that have made the video that is it worth it? There's so much other stuff to talk about. You know, I actually have a list right in front of me here. So yeah, there you go. Spray paint, high quality drill bits, and my fig tree obsession. If you have any answers for me for any of this, I would love to hear from you. It's gardenfork87@youtube.com. All right, go out and do cool stuff. Make it a great day. I'll see you. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.